Have you ever wondered why we call that delicious sausage-in-a-bun snack a hot dog? It's one of those names that sounds so normal to us today, but if you think about it, it's kind of strange. Why would anyone call food a dog? That sounds more like a prank than a snack. In this video, we're going to dig into the quirky history behind the question, why is it called a hot dog? We'll talk about sausages, German immigrants, baseball games, newspaper cartoons, and even rumors of dog meat. By the end, you'll see just how a name that started as a joke ended up sticking around and becoming one of the most recognizable food names in the world. So let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before we even get to the name, we have to start with the food itself, the sausage. Sausages are ancient, like really ancient. Some historians believe they go back more than 3,000 years, with mentions in Homer's Odyssey. The idea was simple. Take bits of meat, season them, stuff them into a casing, and you have a compact, flavorful meal. Fast forward a couple of millennia to Germany, where sausages became a big deal. Germans perfected all sorts of styles: bratwurst, frankfurters, wieners. The city of Frankfurt, Germany in particular, is often credited with popularizing the frankfurter in the 15th century. Meanwhile, Vienna, Austria, gave us the Wiener. So when German immigrants came to the United States in the 1800s, they naturally brought their beloved sausages with them. And Americans loved them too. But sausages weren't always the easiest to eat while walking around, so someone had the clever idea of putting them inside a bun. That simple move transformed the sausage into something portable, fun, and perfect for fairs, picnics, and, eventually, baseball games. At first, these sausages in buns weren't called hot dogs. They were usually called frankfurters, franks, or wieners, depending on the background of the vendor selling them. But here's where things get interesting. In the late 1800s, there was already a joke circulating about sausages. Back then, food safety wasn't exactly trustworthy. People were suspicious of what went into their meat. Rumors spread that unscrupulous butchers used all sorts of scraps, including, supposedly, dog meat. It wasn't true for most vendors, but the joke stuck. People would jokingly call sausages dog or Dachshund sausages because the long, thin sausages reminded them of the Dachshund dog breed. That connection between Dachshunds and sausages is one of the earliest seeds of the term hot dog. To really understand how the name took off, you have to picture New York City in the late 19th century. German immigrants were selling sausages on street corners, often shouting out to attract customers. They'd sometimes advertise Dachshund sausages as a playful nickname. These sausages were usually served piping hot. Combine hot with Dachshund sausages, and you can start to see how the phrase hot dog might naturally have been born. It wasn't an official name at first. It was more of a slang term, kind of like how we might nickname foods today. Baseball played a surprisingly big role in popularizing the hot dog, both the food and the name. By the 1890s and early 1900s, vendors were walking around ballparks with trays of sausages in buns. They were affordable, filling, and perfect for eating with one hand while cheering with the other. Now here's where one of the most famous and debated stories comes in. Legend has it that a cartoonist named Tad Dorgan attended a baseball game at the Polo Grounds in New York around 1901. Vendors were supposedly yelling, "Get your red-hot Dachshund sausages!" Dorgan, trying to capture the moment in a cartoon, wanted to sketch the scene. but he didn't know how to spell Dachshund, so instead he just wrote hot dog. His cartoon, as the story goes, made the name stick. Sounds perfect, right? Well, there's one problem. Historians have never found that actual cartoon. Some say it's lost. Others argue it never existed. But whether the cartoon was real or not, the story reflects what was already happening. People were calling them hot dogs because the name was funny, catchy, and easier to say than Dachshund sausage. By the 1920s, the hot dog was cementing itself as an American classic. Street vendors, Coney Island stands, and baseball stadiums all embraced it. The name hot dog was on menus and signs, and companies started marketing it that way. One of the biggest pushes came from Nathan's Famous in Coney Island. Nathan Handwerker, a Polish immigrant, started selling hot dogs in 1916 for just 5 cents each. His stand quickly became legendary, and his affordable prices made hot dogs a food for everyone, not just the wealthy. Nathan's success helped solidify the food and the name in American culture. By then, any debate over the term was over. Hot dog wasn't just a nickname anymore, it was the official name. What's fascinating is how the phrase hot dog went beyond just food. By the 1920s and 30s, people started using hot dog as an exclamation, like saying, wow. It was cheerful, playful, and full of energy, just like the food itself. And of course, hot dogs became tied to American culture in a huge way. They're at backyard barbecues, the 4th of July, ballparks, amusement parks, and even competitive eating contests. And through all of that, the funny name never changed. So the next time you bite into a hot dog, you're not just eating a sausage in a bun. You're biting into a piece of food history, a story that stretches from ancient sausages in Europe to German immigrants in New York to baseball games, and even to a cartoonist who may or may not have existed at the right place at the right time. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.